It is now my pleasure to present to you the President of the University of Detroit Mercy, Dr. Antoine Garibaldi.
Thank you, Dr. McKinnon. University of Detroit Mercy Board of Trustees Chair, Michael McNamara, Trustees Sister Rosita Schiller and Mr. William Young, today's speaker, Mrs. Nancy Greening Kennedy, faculty, staff, and students of the university, parents, spouses, relatives, and friends of the 2018 graduates, and most especially, the 2018 graduating class of University of Detroit Mercy. We are happy to have you here for our 2018 McNichols Commencement Ceremony, and we are here today to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. But I would want to begin today's ceremony by asking you to join me in wishing all of the mothers in the audience an early Happy Mother's Day. Your mother, as well as your father, and the special people in your lives who are present today, your grandparents, spouses, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, and other relatives, best friends, neighbors, and many more, have been your biggest supporters and know how hard you have worked to make this dream a reality. You have devoted many long hours of studying while also holding part-time and full-time jobs, and in many instances, managing family responsibilities also. Your families and friends are happy for you as you begin a new journey in your life. And they are also happy as you begin your varied professions. So make sure to thank them today and over the next few days for their inspiration, encouragement, and support. And in case you have not realized, commencements are sometimes even more important and exciting for families than they are for you, graduates. Your McNichols campus class of undergraduates and graduates total almost 1,200, in fact, 1,177. And like many previous classes of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral graduates, you are similar in some characteristics and different in others, particularly with regard to your ages, gender, and hometowns. For example, 74% of you, or 515 of the 700 baccalaureate degree candidates, are 25 years old or younger, with the youngest being 19 and the most seasoned in the early 70s. Almost 50% of the 447 master's and specialist graduates are under the age of 30, and the oldest candidate in the early 60s. And our 17 doctoral candidates range in age from 28 years old to the 70s. And women outnumber our men in undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral graduating classes. Okay, you just couldn't wait, right? The women dominate the class by 59% to men 41%. And on a serious note, while the magnitude of the gender gap here has been growing nationally in higher education over the last 2 decades, there are indeed ways to increase the number of men attending and completing undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees that will bring their numbers closer to the outstanding numbers that women have achieved. So we have some work to do. With regard to hometowns, 81% of our graduates, almost 960, are from Michigan. 6% come from 20 other states, And the remainder, almost 120, come from 17 countries, including Belize, Canada, China, the Congo, Ghana, Indonesia, Italy, Libya, Mexico, and the Netherlands. We know that those ages, gender, and hometown similarities and differences provided you with a rich educational experience that you will treasure for the rest of your lives and use well in your professions, your careers, and also the communities where you will live and serve. As you come closer to that special moment of graduation, I ask that you give serious reflection and thought to this simple but very serious question. What is your calling? What is your calling? Even though many of you have chosen one of our 100 academic majors for a degree that will lead you to a lifelong career, your calling in each of those professions is not the same as the response you would give to a stranger or a friend who asks you the question, what do you do? Your calling is not your job, and your calling is not your work. Rather, your calling is closely aligned to the vocation you are about to begin and that you have chosen. The word vocation comes from two Latin words, the noun vocatio, which means a calling or a summons, and the Latin verb vocare, which means to call. And vocation is oftentimes defined as the following: an occupation to which a person is specially drawn or for which he or she is suited, trained, or qualified. As a Catholic university that is Jesuit and Mercy sponsored, we know that the word vocation had its origins in Christianity, and it is commonly used to refer to a person who is interested and devoted his or herself to religious life. But vocation is oftentimes used today in many non-religious contexts and certainly applies to the many professions that you have chosen. So as you contemplate your calling, think beyond the simple reply of, I am an accountant, architect, biologist, chemist, community development specialist, computer engineer, financial analyst, historian, journalist, nurse or nurse anesthetist, philosopher, physician assistant, political scientist, and many others, as well as teachers and educators and writers. Think instead of how you would complete the sentence to describe who you are professionally in this way, because the answer of I'm an accountant or I'm an engineer is not sufficient. What is sufficient, however, is that you give pause and you think more deeply about the short-term and long-term contributions that you can make to your profession, to your community, and to the broader society. Ask yourself instead the more difficult question: how do I want to use my degree and advance myself personally and professionally over the next 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years? To fulfill your calling, you will need to use your degrees. For example, you can choose to teach, conduct research, discover cures for diseases, invent innovative products and instruments, design facilities and autonomous vehicles, and much more. You can also mentor others who are interested in your profession and who become involved in service activities just like you have over your last 4 years. Many of you have volunteered locally, nationally, and in other countries during your time here. So remember the people and the nonprofit organizations that you have assisted and continue that level of community service during your career. Transform the gift of education that you have received here by sharing it freely with others who can benefit from it. Your calling then will come into sharper focus as you realize that whatever you select, it will indeed be your ultimate purpose in life and the goals you want to achieve after a very successful career. So when you reach the end of your profession, you will follow proudly in the footsteps of tens of thousands of University of Detroit Mercy alumni who have preceded you over the last 141 years. And as you ponder your calling, use our commencement speaker and distinguished alumna, Mrs. Nancy Greening Kennedy, as a role model. Her exceptional career as an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and active civic, community, religious, and university volunteer is a useful marker for you to use as a baseline for your service that you will provide. If you can be half as busy as Mrs. Kennedy is now, when you are just at the peak of your career, the university will be very thankful for your dedicated service. Finally, stay close to your alma mater and your school of college as you bring distinction to the university and your profession during your outstanding careers. Congratulations and much success, graduates, and may God's blessings be with you and your families always.